The Sunshine State rivalry is honestly one of the best games of the year.
Florida State rivalry, it's always a gritty one.
We just vote for anything that comes at us.
Probably one of my favorites to play.
The other team in the dugout, doesn't matter who it is. We're on a mission, and they're the team in a way to get us to where we want to go, and that's the Women's College World Series.
It'll be a fight for sure.
Who doesn't love a rivalry in the middle of the week? Welcome to the ACC on ESPN. This is the first of two meetings between these two Sunshine State rivals. It's Florida State. Next Tuesday they'll play again, but this time in Gainesville. Tonight we get the matchup here in Tallahassee. Let's go. We're excited to be with you. Courtney Lau alongside two-time National Player of the Year, Olympic bronze medalist, Danielle Laurie. And man, we're so fired up when we got this matchup on the schedule because you got the rivalry, but then also this is a big game for postseason implications too.
I think with like just RPI and where both these teams are at, like being able to get wins is huge, especially knowing you're so close. A couple SEC weekends, postseason tournament, but before you know it, I mean, postseason's here.
Yeah, mayhem is upon us just in a few weeks. Well, let's talk about the offense. Sorry, pitcher, but we got to go bats here. Jocelyn Erickson for Florida.
She's incredible. She is a senior, and I mean, she leads this team. She's 8th in the nation in RBIs with 67, and somebody that you find stepping up to the dish in such monumental moments where you need her to be clutch. I also think it's been clutch that she hasn't had to play every single game behind the dish. I think it saves her legs knowing she gets to play first occasionally, and it's just been cool to see how consistent she has been from the jump. But on the flip side, it's Isa Torres for me. I mean, she leads the nation with a .589 batting average. She's so versatile. She can do anything, and she has the pop and power behind it. She leads this team. When Isa Torres goes, they follow. She has the energy. She brings the juice, and this is a night where you're going to see her step up.
Yeah, and talking to her today, man, she is confident and playing free. In the circle, Florida State is going to send in Jazzy Francic to play against their rivals.
Yeah, I love getting to watch Jazzy Francic throw. Throws really well, yet only a sophomore, but a lot of experience last year, and pretty cool opportunity going up in this Sunshine State rivalry tonight.
So Francic will get a first look at the top of this Florida order, one of the best offenses in the nation, and Taylor Shoemaker is right there at the top, but look in that 3 spot. Kendall Grover has really come on as of late. She has had 4 hits in each of their last 2 SEC series. Taylor Shoemaker wasting no time getting out of the park. What a way to start against your rival. 15th home run on the season for Shoemaker.
Well, she was on time. This is an off-speed rise at 56 miles an hour that Shoemaker just not fooled whatsoever. Gets the barrel up there, takes it out. Statement piece, Courtney, right out of the gate. Leadoff goes yard.
And now this Florida team tied for 5th in single-season home runs with the 2014 team with 89 on the season. And then you got to go another lefty with Jocelyn Erickson right behind Shoemaker.
When I break down Jazzy Francic and I look at just her comfort levels with lefties versus righties, she has a way lower clip against those right-handed hitters. She has good velo. She can get it up there at 68, but to her, it's when she's able to really change speeds well. But when you look at the lefties and at times how stacked this Florida lineup is with them, she has a 264, 4.20 ERA against the lefties and a 155, 1.02 ERA against those right-handed hitters.
Erickson going small ball with a bunt. That's a slow roller, gives her plenty of time to reach safely. It's a Florida Gators offense that Francic is facing that is tops in the nation in I mean, almost every category. They're 4th in the nation in average, 6th in the nation in runs per game, 4th in total runs scored, 2nd in hits. You might can guess who's 1st in hits.
Who you got for me?
Oklahoma.
I could have guessed.
They have 48 more hits than Florida does. Here's Kendall Grover, who was challenged with her offensive piece by Tim Walton, and boy, has she responded. High hopper up the middle. She's aboard. Last 10 games, she's hitting 400.
And someone that Coach Tim Walton really did say, like, hey, I'm going to need you to step up and just be better offensively. And you and I covered that South Carolina a couple games, and she's just continued to get better and better. And you love that, especially from her in the 3 spot.
A transfer from Eastern Illinois has locked down that 3rd base position on defense. And now here's Kinley Cahalan. So this Florida lineup, 2 lefties at the top, then Grover a righty, then back to 2 lefties here with Cahalan and Thomas will back her up. What do you want to see from Francic coming out? You give off the leadoff home run, and now you've got the last 2 that have reached.
Yeah, it's just really about the response and finding some pitches that you're able to use to roll it over to the defense. And at times, that first inning, you know, every umpire is a little different. What can I get? What's that strike zone that I'm able to establish? But with her going as off speed at times that she is, it's important for her to be able to get ahead, to then throw that pitch in the mix. I know she throws it in these types of counts as well.
Francic, who a player last season, was a top 10 finalist for the National Freshman of the Year, was a first-team All-ACC selection. Now leading them in pretty much every pitching category this season. Cahalan, Isa Torres diving and throwing to 3rd, and that will retire Erickson. But that's just the first out of this game as Cahalan reaches on the fielder's choice.
This is just such incredible defense by Isa Torres. She goes in the hole, gets it, knows that her teammate Beecham is going to get there, steps on the base. Like, this is clutch. This is what you need as a pitcher to fire you up, get you going.
Townsend Thomas takes the first pitch. Isa Torres running it to make out number 2, retiring Grover.
And not only is Isa Torres who she is offensively and what she's been able to do, but I look at her defensively and how big of a rock she is in the infield. I mean, you look at the difference from last season to this season. That's a big jump, big focus on the defense.
Yeah, this defense for Florida State was 131st last year in fielding percentage, and now they're 3rd. In fact, you're going to see 2 of the top 3 defensive teams in the nation here tonight as Ava Brown is at the plate for Florida.
That last pitch, 57 miles an hour. It's that off-speed curveball, which is at times shows how she does a little bit better to those right-handed hitters. She can throw that pitch across from the righties and has such good command of it. It is, every pitcher at times is comfortable, a little bit more comfortable maybe throwing to a righty or a lefty, depending on what their best pitch is and what they tend to favor at times.
Francic trying to rebound here. An opportunity for her first strikeout of the game. She allowed Taylor Shoemaker to lead off this game with a solo home run. Ava Brown towards left. And Ashton Danley with the grab. But how about that? Florida on the road and the Gators bash it.
Such a statement. Taylor Shoemaker goes up and gets this 56-mile-an-hour off-speed rise, and she gives the Gators a 1-0 lead.
A leadoff home run from Taylor Shoemaker gives Florida a lead on the road at Florida State, but the nation leader in batting average will step up to the plate. Isa Torres, last year, she set a Florida State record, hitting .436, and then just continued the history. On March 6th, earlier this season, she had 6 hits in 1 game, which is a school record. In March, she went 16 consecutive hits over 7 games. That set an NCAA record, and now she is chasing that NCAA average record that has been set for a very long time. A few decades now it's been in place. Isa Torres chasing that. The record is .589, which is what she's hitting right now. It stood for 32 years. And she is the top of this Florida State order. And Keegan Rothrock gets the ball in the circle for Florida. Not a surprise. She has been their workhorse in the circle.
She is. She is the rock. This junior has been throwing so well. The rock.
Come on.
I like that.
It's the first time she's heard that.
Has a good arsenal of pitches, right? You know she tends to be that rise ball pitcher, but what I've absolutely loved in this 2026 season is just the usage of her changeup. That's been something that she throws a lot more.
Party Porch better watch out over there. The band's out here for this Sunshine State Showdown.
But when we covered Keegan Rothrock's no-hitter against South Carolina, the biggest difference in that game was her using her changeup a lot more, because then you could just see that the hitters were flustered, not knowing what to swing at. We're swinging at pitches way out of their strike zone. But this is just such a good matchup when you have someone like Rothrock and then the junior as well as Isa Torres, both of these young ladies so good at their craft, just going head on.
Isa Torres. Goodbye! Home run on the season for Isa Torres. How about both of these teams leading off with solo blasts?
And I'm trying to contain like the goosebumps on my arms from the crowd to just understanding what it's like to do something like this. To step up in the leadoff spot, the defensive plays she made last inning to then tie this ball game up. Man, she's good.
What does that do for the rest of this lineup?
It ignites a different confidence, right? Seeing 6 pitches, working the at-bat, I think that allows for your teammates to see like, oh, okay, she's seeing it well, and gives you a little extra confidence stepping in the box.
So Isa Torres get the curtain call there.
And not a horrible spot by Keegan Rothrock.
Yeah.
I think sometimes you need to tip your cap as pitchers, knowing that like, man, sometimes a good pitch can get hit out of here.
Jason Beecham backing her up. And Madison Walker sprinting over into the netting to make the grab. 1 away.
And I also think, too, that just gives this extra confidence to your pitcher and Francic in the circle, right? Like, sometimes you feel like, you know, I gave up that solo shot, and then when you have one of your teammates step up the next inning and just absolutely punch back, it kind of gives you this different feeling going into the next inning. Like, oh, all right, let's go. My team's get me some runs.
For Florida State, their last regular season home game is this game against their rival. They were just able to tie it up with an Isa Torres leadoff home run. As good as Florida's offense is, Florida State's is right there. They're 5th in average, so right behind the Gators when it comes to batting average. 11th in the nation in runs per game. 3rd in the nation in doubles, 7th in triples.
Ashton Danley just being that staple now in the lineup over the course of her career, working her way into the lineup. Last year had a little over 80 at-bats and just said to coach, like, I really want to do this both sides. I want to be an elite level hitter and play the outfield, and when I pitch, I want to be great.
This will be a slow roller to Kinley Cahalan at short, and she's retired. You know, the similarities between these rivals show up on paper too. You see the batting average and where it ranks. You also see the defense and where that ranks for these two complete teams.
Well, both coaches, I mean, we know that at this point in the game, like, defense wins championships. I know that sounds cliche and we've heard it before, but it is. It's true. When you have elite defenders that can make great plays for you, it just is the difference maker. And I know at times the further you get in the postseason, sometimes some things have to fall here and there, but man, the defense that we've been able to see, I know Townsend Thomas, we saw her make some incredible plays a couple weeks ago at South Carolina, just outfield, laying it all out there.
There's the catcher, Anna Hine. Rothrock goes inside. And we said it at the top of the show, but this is a very important game for both of these teams when it comes to resume building for the NCAA tournament. Hops into Cahalan's glove. Issa Torres start this game off with a home run.
Man, she has been so clutch up top. Absolute statement piece right out of the gate. Issa Torres tying this ball game up and getting the home crowd going.
One apiece, each team starting the game off with solo home runs, and we go to the top of the second inning. The similarities of these two rivals, pretty interesting. Both have national titles, both have been to the Women's College World Series numerous times, and they both have had a lot of success in their conference. And it was kind of fun to talk to both head coaches about what they remember from these meetups. Tim Walton told us that one time they walked off Florida State here, which is weird being the visitor.
Yeah, well, originally there was something that happened where it got rained out at home at his park, and he said, yeah, it's just, how do you walk off? Think about that one. And I was like, yeah, I know, my partner is.
No,
she's
I
rattled
was trying
right there
I
at the
was.
top of the step. There is. These types of like in-state rivalries are just gritty. And when you have someone, you know, beside Coach Walton, Francesca Anea, like, who lived it. I remember playing against her back in the day, that 2009, 2010 season. Like, the Florida Gators at times are built different. That competitiveness and that like nature. So I can only imagine the in-state rivalry. Listen, when I played at Washington, we didn't have that with Washington State because they didn't have a softball team. I could only imagine what that would have been like.
I love that they're going to play twice. They will play again on Tuesday in Gainesville. Florida's going to go to UCF for a couple of games this weekend. It was their off weekend in the SEC. Florida State is going to travel to Georgia Tech, who's kind of clicking at the right time. This is Cassidy McClellan leading off. Taylor Shoemaker started the game with a leadoff home run, her 4th leadoff home run of the season. Florida got 3 hits off of Jazzy Francic in that first inning. She threw 19 pitches.
And the one thing you can say about Jazzy Francic is she just changes speed so much. She has that off-speed curve. She has that off-speed rise. She has that changeup, but then she can amp it up and come at you with 68 miles an hour here and there, which almost gives you a different velocity feel of like probably over 70 because she does change speeds 3 to 4 times in an AB.
And Cassie McClellan is going to hang in there and take her base. First free pass issued of the evening by Francic.
Now batting number 24, Madison Walker.
Here's Madison Walker, the Mizzou transfer.
I think from the jump, really the one thing for Francic is just being able to get ahead of these hitters, and then you can toy. It's when you find yourself falling behind a little bit where you got to throw something a little bit more over the plate. I mean, when you look at her counts, like those pure hitter counts, right? Like where the hitter is ahead, I mean, she's got that 4.20 ERA, but when she is ahead, when she has that 0-2, 1-2, 2-2, I mean, she's a 1.24 ERA. So those are the little things, knowing how important it is to get ahead of hitters.
Madison Walker gets jammed up. Haley Griggs is there to make the play at first. Cassie McClellan into scoring position. Well, here's our next ESPN2 NWSL match. Angel City hosts Portland at BMO Stadium in LA. Coverage begins Sunday at 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific. It's also available on ESPN Deportes and the ESPN app. Gabby Comia at the bottom of the order for Florida. She comes in on a 3-game hit streak.
And so good to just turn that lineup over. I mean, has had 3 bunt hits over the course of the year. So she keeps the defense honest and on their toes. But also has a little pop and some giddy up behind her as well, where she can put that additional pressure with that power and drop that bunt.
361 average on the season. Went 3 for 8 last weekend against Auburn in that 3-game series. You know, in their speed testing that Florida did, she was the fastest.
And I like that down. If you're not in that leadoff spot, I do kind of like down in the 9-hole to just be able to almost feel a little bit leadoff-like.
Hard hopper into Marin Heller's glove. 2 away as McClellan goes to third. All right, Danielle, so how do you handle Taylor Shoemaker, who blasted a solo home run off of you her first time up?
Well, I'm not going back with the off-speed rise right out of the gate, I'll tell you that. I'm gonna keep something a little bit more down in the zone. I mean, 4 leadoff home runs. Torres, 6 leadoff home runs. Tied for second in D1. I mean, the leadoffs, you're seeing 2 of the best in the country square off in Shoemaker and Torres.
Shoemaker goes towards left, not deep enough. Ashton Danley is there to scoop it at the warning track, and Florida is going to leave a runner on third. Still tied up at 1 apiece. 2 home runs are the difference in this game.
Exclusively on ESPN, 40-plus NCAA championships. Confetti rains. Nets are cut. Joy erupts. Hardware is hoisted. History happens here on ESPN, home of NCAA championships.
Well, Saturday at 5 Eastern, the Seminole team that you're watching is going to highlight the ACC Network softball doubleheader. They'll play the second game of a 3-game series against Georgia Tech right after Virginia Tech hosts North Carolina. And, you know, remaining schedule for this Florida State team, yes, they will play Florida again. They've got a 3-game series with Georgia Tech. Then they go to Gainesville and then Boston College. You know, they're trying to push towards padding that resume for the postseason, and that Stanford weekend was pivotal. I mean, they went out to Stanford and got swept.
I was shocked. I was. When I watched that, that was just not what I was expecting whatsoever, especially with the run that you had saw Florida State on. I mean, they hadn't lost a game yet in ACC. But, I mean, hearing Lonnie Alameda say, like, every single season you just go through something that, like, hits home, that punches you, where you're just like, man, that doesn't feel good, right? And I think being able to address the elephant in the room.
Bella Ruggiero, shallow left, sprinting in is Townsend Thomas.
Was really important for her to be able to do. Like, what was, like, they were in ball games. It's not like they were just getting completely blown out. So it's like, what's the pressure that you're feeling? Why are these moments happening? And she's very big. And I mean, she said to us numerous times, like, those conversations are big. Looking each other in the eye and being able to address the obvious. And you have to feel the emotions at times of what games bring out of you, good and bad, especially in front of your teammates. But yeah, they got smacked by Stanford. That was not great. And I wanted to know, like, did she get mad at them? She said, no, we just addressed some hard conversations and want to see them respond.
Kennedy Harp here. Yeah, I mean, remember, one of those games, they scored 6 runs in the top of the 7th and then lost.
I was at Tennessee, and I actually fell asleep after when they scored 6 because I was like, oh, I feel like.
Yeah.
And then Amanda and Kevin on the call, and the Grand Slam I see all over, you know, social media the next day, and I'm like, oh,
my heart was
goodness.
still beating. Thank you, Kevin. But I think talking to Lonnie Alameda, like you said, she's hoping now they can pull from that experience when they if they get into those situations again, especially as we get closer and closer to May.
And late in ball games, I feel like that's at times where you really see what you're made of, right? You're seeing the lineup the second, third time through. What are the adjustments you're making as a hitter? What do you feel in stepping in the box? Then on the flip side for your pitching staff, right? It comes down to your ability to execute under pressure late in ball games when the score is close.
Kennedy Harp lifting it to shallow right field, and Cassidy McClellan is there. 2 down.
Now batting, Marin Heller.
Marin Heller coming up to the plate. One of my favorites to watch this year. I actually got to coach her at the PGF All-American Games, and she was on my team, and I just, oh man, she was so excited to get to Florida State. She would not stop talking about it. And someone that has came in as a shortstop, but obviously when you have someone like Issa Torres, so they moved her to second base, but getting to learn the game at a high level from someone like that too has only been able to help her continue to grow and not feel like a freshman right out of the gate. That's something that Coach Lonnie Alameda really said today. Like, none of these freshmen are playing like freshmen. They want to understand how to get better. They can accept sometimes the hardships of the game where at times you can go, oh, well, I'm just a freshman, it's okay. No, it's not okay. There's an expectation.
Yeah, and she's got 3 freshmen and a redshirt freshman in the lineup today. Brought in 9 freshmen. Two balls and a strike to Marin Heller from Rothrock.
And I think it's special these days when you see freshmen come in and make such an impact, right? Nowadays with the transfer portal and at times all these different things, sometimes it's hard to crack a lineup your freshman or sophomore year. I like that pitch. You know that.
Says the pitcher.
But I also know I get fired up when someone throws the bat and thinks they're going to walk on me. Ooh, we're coming back. That's a good hold by Marin Heller.
First free pass issued by Keegan Rothrock tonight.
Now batting, number 9, Shelby McKenzie.
The DP, Shelby McKenzie, now 2 down, and Marin Heller at first base. Perfect spot for McKenzie to find green grass. Heller diving back to second. 2 on.
Well, that's a nice job by Shelby McKenzie. This is a pitch that's up and in. This is not a bad spot. She kind of gets jammed up just a little bit, but I think it goes to show how physically strong she is. Outfield absolutely on it. Townsend Thomas out left.
The second hit of the evening for Florida State, the first being that leadoff home run in the first inning from Issa Torres. Now Haley Griggs at the bottom of the order playing first base, one of those 3 freshmen along with the 1 redshirt freshman in the lineup.
The one thing you're seeing just a little bit this inning is just them seeing the ball down just a little bit more. And that's Rothrock's bread and butter. We know that rise ball, she tends to go to that at 75% of the time. That's her specialty.
Cahalan tossed to second, and that'll be out number 3. Florida State an opportunity to take the lead, can't capitalize, and we remain tied up at 1. Well, on April 18th, some golden tickets were handed out. Jocelyn Erickson and Kinley Cahalan both getting a golden ticket, and that means they are guaranteed to hear their name called at the AUSL draft, which is coming up on May 4th on ESPN2. Danielle, you'll be on the draft?
I will be on the draft. Tune in. So exciting. Listen, those golden tickets, that's a big deal. Like, and just the excitement when you get to do it and have a teammate as well. I remember when Corby Otis got hers last year. She was so fun to watch too. Man, she just fit in the AUSL. Like, she was so darn good.
And now Jocelyn Erickson leading off here. What makes Erickson so good?
She is just calm as a cucumber.
Yeah.
And I mean that. Like, her tempo does not change. And she just has this almost this elegant calmness about her swing, but I feel like she can get and attack anything in the zone and make you work. And one thing you can say about the Gators, listen, I feel like Coach Tim Walton does such a good job of them understanding plate discipline and what's in their wheelhouse. Like, what do I do a great job of? What is the pitch that I need to be able to swing at in order to do damage? But as a whole, I feel like a lot of these NCAA hitters, compared to just back in the day, have such a good understanding of what the strike zone is, pitches to lay off of, their ability to foul off a lot of pitches and really make a pitcher work harder and harder. But Erickson stands out. But like I had said this when we talked open, like, I really believe that the difference has been her not having to catch every single day, and that's something Coach Walton had stressed. Like, there is this different fatigue when you are the catcher day in and day out. And I'm not saying you can't do it at a high level, but I feel like she's got to reap the benefits of being able to play first base, be around the pitcher, contribute in a different way, and has done such a good job at being able to play first base. And then she's the rock behind the plate. Like,
and that's with Ella Wesolowski coming in from Mississippi State. She's allowed Jocelyn Erickson to take some innings off at catcher, and Wesolowski has stepped into that spot.
And Walton said, like, I still want you to come. You get to compete against Jocelyn Erickson, and Wesolowski absolutely loved that challenge.
This one hops over the head of Francic and out to center field, and Jocelyn Erickson, a couple of hits today already, multiple hits for the 21st time this season.
Well, and just like fouling off a ton of pitches and then just goes with something right back up the middle, like a quality at bat in itself, like showing your teammates, I'm seeing a ton of balls here, and now I'm passing the bat to Kendall Grover, who to me has been one of the hottest hitters from that South Carolina series on.
Transferred in from Eastern Illinois. Has really improved so much when it comes to playing third base, but also with her bat. And this is Grover's final season. She was the first ever back-to-back OVC Player of the Year. That was at Eastern Illinois, where she spent 3 seasons. And they've talked about from fall to the winter break how much she improved during that time at Florida. It's paying off now. Harp calls it. Erickson stays at first.
And that's what you chalk up as a heck of a pitcher's pitch, right? An 0-2 pitch. She throws off speed, 59 miles an hour. Get someone like Kendall Grover swinging at something that's not really in her wheelhouse, but pops it up. That's when you're just stoked as a pitcher. Almost kind of feels like a strikeout these days.
Kinley Cahalan reached on a fielder's choice in the first. The other golden ticket recipient we told you about, along with Erickson.
And someone that I think, has just thrived under Coach Tim Walton. I know that was someone that he was looking to originally get to Florida. She had transferred from Bama, and he says he recalls watching her in travel ball and hearing the sound off the bat on the other field and having to make his way over.
Erickson going. And she is safely into scoring position.
And this, to me, just goes to show how tough Francic truly can be. When you're getting a hitter swinging at this pitch at 2-1, could potentially have been a hit and run. Maybe I'll chalk it up as that. But just kind of goes to show that off speed, that downward motion sometimes is tough. But would have been a good 2-1 count to swing at.
It says 2-2 on the scoreboard,
but that would have made it 2-2, but it was 2-1 prior. It was a 2-1 count when she swung at that, which put it to 2-2.
Yeah, just one away. And a walk for Cahalan. That brings up Townsend Thomas, who, Danielle, she can pretty much do it all.
Oh, man, she's so good. And Coach Walton has given her the go-ahead. Doesn't matter where you're at in the lineup. Go with your strength. If it means drop the bunt, do it. But it also means if you go yard, you go yard. And this was a no-hitter being thrown by Keegan Rothrock. This was in the 7th inning. Just understanding the importance of keeping a no-no going. I mean,
yeah.
Come on, so good. She's just been one of those electric freshmen, I think, that has been able to come in and make an impact right away, right? With her speed, with her pop.
And they've moved her over into left field.
And we asked him about that today, and he was just like, I love that she can go to her right as hard as she wants to go.
There goes lay down the bunt. Oh, it died. And it slipped away from Anna Hind as she tried to throw it. I don't think she had a chance, though, to catch Townsend Thomas barreling down the line.
Just constantly keeping the defense honest, knowing that she has that power and then respecting that. You see Griggs, who plays back, and she says,
So now the bases are loaded for the heartbeat of the Florida Gators, Ava Brown. Ava Brown was injured on February 26th against Cal, and it looked pretty scary. Fortunately, the diagnosis was better than they anticipated. She made her return April 3rd against Mississippi State to a standing ovation. She is still working in the bullpen, and Tim Walton told us today she's getting closer to being available when it comes to pitching, but right now, just focused on that hitting role.
and someone that, I mean, is so important to have back in the lineup, who had just been kind of going through the injury, but like so present, like constantly in pitcher's bullpen, standing in, taking live reads. I mean, can't stress enough the importance of having her back.
Hops into Marin Heller's glove, looking for a couple. Florida State's defense getting it done. We'll talk to Lonnie Alameda when we come back to Tallahassee. watching the ACC on ESPN. Florida just had an opportunity with the bases loaded, but Florida State turns a double play, the 26th double play of the season for this Seminole defense, who's top 5 in the nation when it comes to defense. And starting in the first inning for Florida State, it was Issa Torres leading off with a home run.
Yeah, I mean, just swag alert, somebody that you would expect to just absolutely punch back when they get punched. Nobody better in that type of situation.
And we're now joined by Florida State head coach Lonnie Alameda. And Coach, we just saw one of your freshmen, Marin Heller, play some awesome defense. What's the best thing she's brought to your team?
Oh my gosh, a long list. We don't have enough time here. We're playing an awesome game. So, I mean, just I think her softball IQ as a freshman is just outstanding. So, but the best thing is just Marin Heller. She's an incredible human, and she raises the bar every day for us because she just loves playing this game. So, huge passion. So that's number 1 on the list. Yeah.
Coach, I mean, I can't go without talking about Issa Torres and just the fight back, right? They give up the solo shot, and then she steps up and does that. Just how good she really is.
Yeah, I mean, wow. You know, like, I mean, you become a fan. You know that. You guys do the same thing up there. You just become a fan of great players. What a good ball game. Great players on both sides here. Like, that's why this game is so good. And people like her just keep elevating every year. And she's staring me down right now. Like, get off so I can go do it. So.
All right, we'll let you go. Thank you, Coach. I appreciate it.
Bye.
She's like, Coach, I'm trying to hit.
No, I'm ready,
The nation's leader in batting average started this game with a solo home run. She's now on a 6-game hit streak.
To me, what has been the most impressive thing is just I feel like she's gotten so much better and better and better. I mean, you look at this heat map. I wanted to pull up the batting average. So everywhere that it's red, she is hitting over 500. So she is just one of the toughest hitters, if not in the country, to get out.
Pop up, deep center. See you later, Issa Torres.
Wow.
Tags them all for the second time tonight.
Wow. Coach just said it. I don't know how you can't not be a fan. Just her ability to be able to go and get this pitch. She's not fooled by the up whatsoever. I mean, we were here earlier on in the day, and you saw some of these athletes taking reps in the cages. And that's where we just got to talk to her a little. She just has this calm presence and confidence about her craft. I'm like, how are you doing it? Like, how from your freshman year to the next year and just continue to get better? And she really, you know, talked about Kaylee Rafter, who's on staff that's helped her, but she says just my reps and just paying attention to like the little details, trusting my work, simplifying it.
Galen backs up to retire Danley. 2 down after the leadoff home run for the second time tonight from Issa Torres. Puts her at 13.
Now batting number 77, Anna Hine.
And that, just thinking about like how much she can help a player like Marin Heller, right? Like, I want to hang out with Issa Torres. And you get this freshman that's able to come in that plays the same position but says, yeah, I'm going to move over here to second and you and I are going to play up the middle together. There was just this different level of coaching that someone like Marin Heller will getting to play with Issa Torres, her freshman and her sophomore year. It's pretty cool when you think about it.
And especially on a Florida State team who is underclassmen heavy.
And you need players like Torres that really are able to kind of mentor and show by example, and just one of those players that you root for.
And Hines smacks it to center. Well, this year's NFL Draft is in Pittsburgh. The 3-day event begins tomorrow with the first round at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. We'll have every pick once again on ESPN, along with our usual expert analysis. It's also available on the NFL Network. And, as always, ABC's coverage focuses on the prospect's journey to the draft. Bella Ruggiero looking to extend a 7-game hit streak. She's had an RBI, in her last 6 games. She's got Anna Hind on first.
I think one of the biggest differences when you think of Keegan Rothrock with the addition of her changeup this year from the 2025 season of 7% to 20 this season. But what I've been seeing with her rise ball is she can throw it and bring it in at 70 miles an hour, but then she can also take something off the rise ball and throw it at 64, 65 miles an hour. And there's the change. That's a pretty pitch. But I think that with the 3 separate speeds of the rise and the rise, as well as the changeup, can make it at times challenging as a hitter where you have to pick, like, am I looking hard rise or am I looking 64 rise? And it forces you to swing at stuff like that when she can throw her change.
Comia showing off her speed, charging on that ball, but Florida State has its first lead.
Get out of here. Isa Torres, that's a couple innings in a row where she's giving me goosebumps. I can't say a player's done that in a while. FSU up 2-1.
Not just bragging rights at stake in the Sunshine State Showdown. Florida is trying to beat Florida State for the first time since 2024, and the Seminoles are looking for their second ranked win of the season.
Yeah,
the first being UCLA back at Clearwater.
So to me, that's another reason as to why a series like this is so important, right? Like, how many top 10, top 20 wins can I get to try to pad up my stat line as much as I can going into selection show? Listen, I don't ever feel safe on selection show Sunday, so I don't even know.
You're not being selected.
Sometimes it feels like I am.
Well, like, new pitcher in the circle for Florida State. Ashton Danley comes in from left field, and she'll start off with 7, 8, 9. Cassidy McClellan is up. Ruggiero has moved out to left field to take Danley's spot. Danley, a player that said, "Coach, I'm ready to handle it all." She can hit, she can play the outfield, and she can pitch, and she can have success doing all of them.
Well, and a whole lot more of a workload this year, but has that velo coming from the left side. Such a good two-way player.
McClellan gets jammed, and Danley will field her position. She can also do that.
And someone that had to learn throughout the fall before heading off for Thanksgiving what that's going to look like. What's it look like when you go to practice and you're running the bases hard, and then you're playing outfield, and then you're hitting, and then you have to go through a bullpen and then go back. And Coach Alameda had mentioned, like, she's someone that busts her butt at practice, but like sweats like crazy. Like, she's like, we needed to see if her body could withstand all of that. Because, you know, at times, like when Florida State's had some injuries in the circle over the last couple years, you want to protect those pitchers. So it's like, I don't really want you base running. I want to make sure you're good. So she's been kind of given the full reins to be great at both this year. And I think a good example of, if you work hard enough, you can do it.
now facing Madison Walker. Yeah, and they absolutely loaded her up in the fall ball. No breaks, no pinch runner for you. You got to do it all. This is what it's going to feel like, so that when she got into the season, now she knows what it takes to stay conditioned and to keep pushing forward. Hops it past Isa Torres. Madison Walker with the hit. We'll have the first FA Cup semifinal match of the weekend on ESPN Plus and the ESPN app. Saturday, Manchester City hosting Southampton at Wembley Stadium. Coverage begins at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. Bottom of the order with Gabby Comia. That one sneaks out to right. Back-to-back hits for the Gators.
And you saw Maren Heller playing a little bit more honest.
Hey, to start this game, Taylor Shoemaker. Boom.
I mean, look at the location of the pitch. Look at her go up and get it. I mean, that's a tip of your cap all day. Sometimes we got to throw our ego aside as pitchers and be like, damn, that's a good piece of hitting.
That was off of Jazzy Francic, who got the start. This will be the first time that Shoemaker has faced Ashton Danley. Last year's National Freshman of the Year. Came back in her sophomore season. You always wonder how sophomore season is going to go. Well, her bat speed went up about 5 to 7 miles per hour faster. And her numbers went up too.
And that strength and conditioning piece too. You're seeing a lot of these athletes max out at that.
And Florida State's already turned one double play. They won't get that one there. But they do take care of Gabby Comia, Taylor Schumacher at first.
Going up the middle, you love when you see Torres and Heller close. Obviously, Shoemaker a ton of speed up the line. That would have been tough to double her up. This is tough here. Jocelyn Erickson. Back-to-back hits.
Started with a bunt in the first, and then got a hit out to center in the third. Her 21st multi-hit game of the year. This is a player who is 5th in career home runs and career RBI at Florida. 52% of her hits this season have been for extra bases.
And someone at times I feel like her average goes up when there is a level of pressure. I mean, with 2 outs and runners in scoring position, I mean, batting at a 478 clip. And at times as pitchers, I heard Coach Alameda say this prior to the Stanford series of just like, sometimes you have to be okay walking someone. It doesn't mean that we have to throw the balls way off the plate, but it's like learning as a pitcher, if the strike zone's smaller, like it's okay to be able to put someone on base. And she's kind of one of those players at times when I think of this team, and really smart, right? Like she's someone that I would circle. At times back in the day, there'd be someone in every lineup where you're like, I don't want them to beat me. That's to me a Jocelyn Erickson of this team. It's an Isa Torres. Like they are just those players that can change the dynamic of the game in a swing. And that's good on both parties, especially at a 1-2 count. Like, nah, I'm not going to give you anything good. Great job behind the plate. And I like being able to connect and get on the same page here. And Hine behind the plate as a freshman has been so good. Like someone that Coach Alameda couldn't wait for her to just finally get here. Just her understanding how to connect with each pitcher. And this is a staff that has a lot, right? Like, that importance is so, that 2-against-1 mentality, battery mate, it goes a long way.
This is a player in Anna Hine behind the dish that, I mean, she came to a lot of Florida State camps. They got to know her early on, and somebody that's been able as a freshman to bring out the consistency in each one of the pitchers that Florida State has on staff. The 2-2 to Erickson. Hind wants it. She got it.
Good. So good.
Well, when we come back, we will talk to Florida head coach Tim Walton. His Gators have the lead, but now down 2-1 to their rival. Welcome back to the ACC on ESPN. Rivalry game in the middle of the week, Florida and Florida State. We're joined now by Florida head coach Tim Walton. And Coach, we showed the video of Jocelyn and Kinley Cahalan getting their golden tickets. What was that moment like for you as a coach to watch that happen to your players?
Yeah, well, you know, the one thing you can tell about special people is the reaction by the rest of the players around them all the time. And, you know, our players seem to be a lot more excited than maybe the two professional future athletes. But that's a good sign of good chemistry and people that are rooting for other people on their team. I thought that was really cool to see.
Coach, Rothrock has been a rock for you this year, no pun intended. But I wanted to know that third time that she's going to go through the lineup, anything you kind of want to see her do a little bit differently?
You know, I just think the balls that are hit hard are, you know, over the middle of the plate. So not much, just a couple inches here, a couple inches there. You know, she's one of those that with her spin and her speed, you know, she does provide lift. So just locate just a tiny bit better, not much. I mean, we've learned a lot together, and I told Keegan, you don't have to make a 360 out there, just inch by inch, make little adjustments.
Thanks, Coach. We appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. Go Gators.
And I do think that the game has evolved so much where pitching, you have to accept sometimes that you're going to give up homers. I think where it hurts is a 2-run or a 3-run home run, and the hitters that have got on have been free passes or little things like that. Like at times you got to tip your cap to how the games continue to evolve. Do I like it? No, but it's more of a hitter's game than it ever has been. The amount of data and information and reps that athletes take on these pitchers prior to when they kick off is nuts, and I don't know how we combat it with the pitching. I don't know how we can match it besides understanding the data and the spin rate and all the things, but Kennedy Harp can go take 500 cuts off of the exact rise ball that she's going to see from a Rothrock, and I'd say the competitive advantage would go to the hitter in a case like that.
Yeah, we walked in today. We came over to the field around lunchtime, and we saw Kennedy Harp along with Issa Torres and some of the other Florida State hitters working in the cages on the pitching machine. And I mean, Issa Torres told us, before I step in the box, I've seen every pitch they've got. As Kennedy Harp looks comfortable and those extra BP work paying off.
You're just seeing hitters not be as fooled as maybe you have back in the day, right? Because there is this level of comfort stepping in the box, knowing what a 68 to 70 mile an hour rise ball is going to look like thrown in the mix with that changeup. And when you're led by someone like Torres, who kind of sets the standard for the offense up top,
This is Marin Heller, who has walked in the second inning. But she does have a hit in 7 of her last 9 games. It's been all solo shots today. Florida started this game off. Taylor Shoemaker sent one over the fence to lead off. And then since then, Isa Torres led off the first inning and the third inning with solo home runs.
Back 70-mile-an-hour pitches. The one prior, 71 miles an hour. That last one coming in at 70, but finds herself in that hitter's count.
Stephanie Van Brakel Prothro is the pitching coach for Florida, although Francesca Anea is also working in that department now, calling some pitches.
And that's new this year, and it's been really awesome. Like when we were at that South Carolina series, I wanted to ask Keegan Rothrock about it, and she had a lot of cool things to say.
Well, here is our next ESPN2 NWSL match. Angel City hosting Portland in LA. Coverage begins at Sunday at 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific. Also available on ESPN Deportes and the ESPN app. Yeah, it seemed like, to your point, Keegan Rothrock liked having multiple voices and like a core staff of coaches to work with.
And I think when you have someone too like Franny, who has, you know, been on staff but has played at this level, who knows the swing better than anyone, she's teaching Rothrock how to read those things in different ways that you would approach hitters and just tendencies. So for her to be able to teach her that piece too has just helped Rothrock kind of evolve in her game.
Number 9.
Marin Heller has now walked twice against Rothrock tonight. That puts 2 aboard as Kennedy Harp singled to lead off this inning, and now the 8-hitter Shelby McKenzie is up. Singled in the second. First pitch, hard hit ball to left. Hart gets the go-ahead. Marin Heller in trouble as Cahalan tries to chase her. And they'll say that she was out. Tag was applied. But Florida State adding to the lead off the bat is Shelby McKenzie.
And she just hits this through the left side. Good piece of hitting. I mean, the hitting piece is contagious. And of course, Kennedy Harp getting sent home. Townsend Thomas not able to glove this up, but goes straight to the next play. And Marin Heller just kind of caught up a little bit. Felt like maybe she got out of the way, but you see the tag by Kenley Cahalan.
Now at the plate, number 1, Haley Griggs.
Florida State has scored 3 unanswered runs. Sturgis is pinch running at second for Florida State. One to Haley Griggs at the bottom of the order.
And you're definitely seeing Keegan Rothrock go to that changeup a lot more here in the middle half of the game. Was going with that rise ball the first couple innings. First inning fine, second inning more action. So I'd like to kind of see how pitchers tend to, as they're going into that third time through the lineup, how they change a little bit.
Erickson looking for it. It's going in the net.
of the toughest battles that you see now more than ever for pitchers is just hitters having really good at-bats, lengthy at-bats, seeing a lot of pitches, and like that's where you have to like lock and load a lot more as a pitcher, where it's like can't take a pitch off, whether it's the eighth pitch, the second pitch.
Briggs hangs in, and then the top of the order, here we come. Isa Torres, what has she done tonight? 2 solo shots.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely incredible. She tied this ball game back up in the first and then came up again. This is a pitch that's up and in. I mean, it's not a bad spot by Keegan Rothrock. I just think there's not a lot that Isa Torres right now can't hit well. I think they are going to make a pitching change.
Nothing like coming in and having to face Isa Torres.
Yeah.
A change in the circle for Florida will step aside. Isa Torres coming to the plate. Olivia Miller will enter this game for Florida, relieving Keegan Rothrock. They've got runners on first and second, and now the top of the order with Isa Torres, who has had not 1, but 2 solo home runs tonight.
Yeah, bringing in the junior, the only southpaw on staff to go up against Isa Torres. Listen, I'm not getting beat by Isa Torres. I think it's one of those scenarios where, man, does it make sense to put her on because there's only 1 down, to have the bases loaded, but I mean, she's had back-to-back bombs. I think you're very careful, nothing in and around the zone. Try to get her to chase at maybe something.
Foul territory. Townsend Thomas tried to get over there anyway. But I mean, Danielle, this is the scouting report on her. If you pull up her heat map, I mean, good grief.
Yeah, I mean,
that looks like it's not real.
500 everywhere. I mean, the blue is where she's going to have the lowest average, which is very faint, but she's going to be tough to beat more than 1 time at a location just because her plate coverage is so good at being able to adjust and have in-at-bat adjustments.
Off the end of the bat, and they will tag Sturgis going to third.
This is a great play by Kenleigh Cahalan, knowing she can't flip it to her teammate. She lays it all out, gets Sturgis.
Now batting number 42.
I think that's a really great job by Olivia Miller to throw her, to almost force her to swing at something. That was way out.
Yeah.
Like, I chalk that up as a win.
So now similar situation, 2 on, but now 2 down for Jason Beecham, who's looking to extend a 4-game hit streak. She's reached in her last 34 games. How important is this moment for Florida, too? This is a Florida pitching staff that Tim Walton, I mean, a couple of weeks ago in a press conference, he said, we've got to have other pitchers step up in order to make a run in the postseason.
I mean, he ain't lying.
That hits Beecham.
You know darn well, I mean, it is very hard in this game with how good hitting is to not have what almost feels like 2 aces, right? That confidence to be able to throw them out there is key. and maybe trying to light a little bit of a fire under some of the pitchers. At this point in the game, there has to be this brutal honesty of what you need, how you can get better.
Ashton Danley steps up with the bases loaded. She had a grand slam this season against Syracuse. And she's hit a home run in each of their last 2 games. Townsend Thomas grabs it in left, and the Gators get out of it, even with the pitching change to Olivia Miller. Florida State does play one more. They're up by 2 now. Top of the 5th inning we go, and Florida State has scored 3 unanswered runs to take a lead on their rival Florida. Courtney Lyle and Danielle Laurie with you, and so pumped that for the fact that this is just the first of 2 meetings between these teams. They're going to play again on Tuesday, but how about the 3 solo shots that we've seen in this game?
Yeah, solo shots are better than 2 or 3 run shots, but man, when you're getting to see someone like Issa Torres, like this is incredible. Back-to-back at-bats, hitting those solo shots is huge. Punching when they get punched. I mean, she is one of, if not a top candidate for a National Player of the Year, in my opinion, which before you know it, kind of feels like it's almost here where you're going to have to pick someone like that. But it doesn't go without saying that this Florida State team this is Issa Torres' team. But I mean, Shoemaker, she started it off. She had that solo shot, and you just kind of felt this from the Gators. I mean, they chase out Keegan Rothrock, who, in my opinion, Court, I didn't feel like Rothrock was throwing bad. I just think she was walking some people, and it just felt like they needed to make the change. That's the one thing you can say about this Florida State team. They have a lot of depth in the circle. That's something that I know Lonnie Alameda is obsessed with and knows the importance of being able to kind of maneuver a staff how she wants based on matchups. And I'll never forget, you and I here a couple years ago with Kat Sandercock in the perfect game, but there would be times throughout the year where Kat Sandercock would start, and then they'd bring her into the closing role, and she just pushes pitchers out of their comfort zone.
Kendall Grover's leading off this inning for Florida. I thought it was cool, Lonnie Alameda shared with us today that Kat Sandercock actually texted her recently. She's pitching in Japan right now, and she said, you know, it was a 1-run game. I entered in the 7th, and like, I just heard you in my head saying, trust your stuff, and it worked. And Lonnie's like, I love hearing that. That hits Kendall Grover.
It probably is like kind of one of those pinch me moments for Kocha, right? Who knows how much better you can be the longer you get to play the game being older, right? Like, I think sometimes we expect 18, 19, 20-year-old women so much from them, right, in this college game, but it's cool to see how the athlete continues to evolve. And you know, you have this AUSL where young women are going to get to play for as long as their skill set allows them to, right? And they just find ways to be more mentally tough because they're older, and that's something that Lonnie instills. I mean, I played for 2 Olympics where she was the pitching coach with us in Beijing for Team Canada, and then in the 2020 games, she expects a lot, but she loves hard. And I think that to me was something that always stood out. Like, okay, if I didn't do well, at the end of the day, like, I know she loves me for the person I am. It's not just because I'm a pitcher. So it almost makes you want to work harder for someone like that.
0-2 to Cahalan. Cahalan walked in the 3rd inning, reached on a fielder's choice in the 1st. Danley gets the first strikeout of this ball game for either side.
This pitch is just so deceptive. That little flip up in the zone, and you could just tell with that swing that she was already committed. She couldn't stop, below a half, everything already going. Kind of a tip your cap moment as a hitter where you're like, damn, they beat me.
Townsend Thomas now. Ooh, and that hits her, so 2 hit batters in this inning.
And if you're Florida, let's go. I mean, that's a couple hitters. It's only a 2-run ball game. These are like the moments where I gotta get the energy. Where's the juice? Let's get going, because she's given us 2 free opportunities here to get back in this.
And that puts the tying run at first.
Sure does.
For Ava Brown. Hit into a double play our last time up in the 3rd inning. But does have a hit in 2 of their last 3 games. Got her first home run since February in the series last weekend against Auburn.
Just an intimidation factor, being able to have Ava Brown back. I mean, it was hurt February 26th and had returned April 3rd, and they are just so happy to have just her experience back, the type of player she is. It's a tough pitch, good pitch, 67 down with just wicked, true spin. That's what makes that pitch so tough. You see her hobbling, she hits that into herself, right? Like, if you were to ask if I want to hit 70 up or 70 down, I'm going up. For that reason. That downward movement, so when you catch almost that like top half of the ball, sometimes it tends to either go into the shin, the knee. I wouldn't mind seeing a little change again like she had thrown on Cahalan.
2-2 here. Isa Torres. Florida State turns 2 for the 2nd time tonight. That's 27 double plays on the season for the Seminoles.
So good. Isa Torres goes and gets it, has such good reflexes to Marin Heller. Quick turn, 6-4-3, gets him out of it.
Well, the ESPN Family Network's your home for the Women's College World Series. We'll have every pitch of the NCAA tournament all the way through crowning a champion in Oklahoma City. This is a big game when it comes to postseason resume. Florida trying to beat Florida State for the first time since 2024, and Florida State's looking for its second ranked win of the season. In fact, Florida State, by the way, has won 7 of the last 8 games against the Gators. They had to come from behind, have had to come from behind today because Florida started the game off with a solo shot by Taylor Shoemaker. The catcher, Anna Hine, leading off.
When you think, too, of just like that RPI, and I look at Florida, who's number 5, which is that strength of schedule, and then you look at Florida State, number 14, like at times you kind of look at that as that top 8, that top 16, like postseason, right? Like when you're able to beat those top RPI teams, it gives you that little bit of extra push. And I know Florida State has Georgia Tech, and they're going to finish up at Boston College. Go Eagles. My husband went there. Got to give him a shout out. And then on the flip side, the Gators this weekend are going to be playing UCF.
Anna Hine lifts it to right field and is retired.
And then they will be playing UCF this weekend, and they're going to finish up with Georgia. So crazy to think season is almost done. We're almost at conference tournament time, and before you know it, selection show Sunday and crowning a champion. It's happening.
Giro takes the first pitch to center. And that extends her to an 8-game hit streak now.
Now batting number 23, Kennedy Harp.
Kennedy Harp led off the 4th inning with a single, came around to score off the bat of Shelby McKenzie.
Just going back to that conversation, or that, you know, Tim Walton comment that he had made about, like, we need someone else to be able to step up, right? Like, understanding that the job is whoever wants to kind of have that gritty performance and who's going to be that person. But I know when you think of a lot of these teams that are trying to make a heavy postseason push, it does come down to, do they have someone else who's going to help them out, right? Like, it is really hard for just one pitcher to do it. Another SEC team I think about is Tennessee, with Pickens and Newer and Sage Marjetko, and how well they've all been able to work together. It's almost allowed for you to take like a breath. I think a little bit of pressure off, knowing like, oh, okay, like someone else can go out there and help the cause. You could say the same thing with Texas Tech this year and Caitlin Terry. Like, I'm not sure Texas Tech is where they're at if they don't pick up Caitlin Terry.
Halen flashing the glove to retire Harp. Yeah, and I mean, last year we did see Texas Tech make a crazy run into the Women's College World Series Champ Series, riding the arm of one pitcher.
Yeah. I mean, they had some help throughout the season, but when it came down to the regionals and supers and, you know, Women's College World Series, you saw everyone until Game 3 of the national championship. You know, you just saw Nyjah, and then finally, I think she got tired in that Game 3, as you should. Hitting is so good, right? Like, it's really tough to go through a lineup one game, let alone multiple in a row.
Maren Heller at the dish now for Florida State. Well, and that's the difference, right? Between your time when Washington could throw you every time. The hitters have so much more data.
They do. And you have to be okay with that as a pitcher. You have to be okay with sometimes, like, not winning, giving up a homer, or some things happening. You're not winning a game that you feel like you should, being able to tip your cap when maybe a hitter does have your day.
Maren Heller to the gap. No, Townsend Thomas using her speed. To the 6th inning we go, and Florida State has a lead on its rival Florida. They're up 3-1. It's here on ESPN2. Katie Stewart in Texas getting ready to face off against Oklahoma State. And Danielle, you were just talking about pitchers being okay with, you give up a hit, like you give up a solo shot. I thought Ruby Malin, when Oklahoma State played Oklahoma, her composure in the circle, I felt like she took it to a new level than I've seen her in the past in her career.
I think it's the best that I've ever seen her throw. And the great ones in the game have to be able to have the short-term memory, have to be able to understand, can I control what I just did? No, I can only control the next piece without the body language going off, without, the ego trying to come through. And that can be the toughest part. And sometimes what you tend to see maybe a little bit more with seniors, just because they've been through it, right? Their freshman year, they learn a little bit, but the seniors that you see where it all kind of comes together, I mean, yeah, Ruby, she threw exceptional in that game.
And Cassidy McClellan will lead off here for Florida. Oh, excuse me, Ella Wesolowski. And we talked about her earlier because her transferring into Florida and being willing to compete with Erickson has allowed Jocelyn Erickson to take some innings off at catcher and been able to play some games at first base and helping her longevity.
And she said she likes being out there at first base because she feels like she can be in her pitcher's ear in a different way. So I think it's almost given her this just different appreciation for the defensive piece that's not always catcher, how she can contribute.
Tim Walton told us the first thing that he told Ella Wesolowski was, look, I'm not recruiting you to be Erickson's backup. I'm recruiting you because you're good enough, because we want you to come play at Florida.
And I believe at times with the generation of athlete, most would say no to that challenge. No, I want to be the one. Like I don't want to compete. I want it to be me, and I can respect that old school mentality. Let's go.
Wesolowski digs down for it. Kennedy Harp underneath it. New catcher for Florida State is Maddie Fry, the Florida native, the senior. Stepped in to take over for Anna Hind. Miss Madison Walker, she got her first hit of the night and her last at bat in the fourth inning. It was off Ashton Danley, who entered in the fourth.
That's a good pitch. I mean, if you could, at times you don't tend to see that called nearly as much, the upper part of the zone. I think it should get called more, if you're curious to know my opinion.
Pitcher. Oh my! Beecham in a blink of an eye. Hot corner 101.
Well, I mean, bat speed off the zone, no doubt. Such a great play. Heads up, hot corner. And Jason Beecham, man, she has grown from her freshman year to this year. I know she was the National Freshman of the Year, and in her sophomore year probably put a lot more pressure on herself than she needed to. and is just thriving in her junior year, had made it known, like, whatever I got to do to the team. And Coach Almeida said throughout the fall, the winter, like, the attention to detail on the littlest things, running bases hard, getting better at her craft in every single way. I think when you do that, it takes pressure off of you needing to feel like I need to be the one to always step up. Because when you give to the game rewards you, right? When you take the shortcuts or you don't do the things you're supposed to, I do believe in that karma game when it comes to the work and not cheating that aspect. And you love that she knew her sophomore year, she put more pressure on herself. And it's not that she wasn't about the team, but feeling like maybe the results she wasn't getting offensively meant she wasn't giving to her team.
Comia, hot shot to Marin Heller. First time retired in order tonight. How about the defense from the Noles?
Well, a couple web gems, Jason Beecham and Marin Heller getting them out there. Florida State still up 3-1.
I think the Seminoles are loving a little midweek matchup against their Sunshine State rival. Great crowd. It was a whiteout for today's rivalry game. Oh, did you want some Dippin' Dots, Danielle?
I wasn't looking at the instrument. I was looking at the dots.
Is it still the ice cream of the future?
No, absolutely not.
Is it the ice cream of the past?
Yes. It sticks to the roof of your mouth. It's just not for me, but he was enjoying it.
This Florida State team responded after giving a leadoff home run to start this game. They've scored 3 in a row unanswered. And now McKenna Sturgis will step to the plate. 2 of those runs, by the way, solo home runs from Isa Torres, the nation's leader in average. Sturgis will bat in Shelby McKenzie's spot. She came in a pinch run for her in the 4th inning. Comia slides over to grab it.
That's a good pitch by Olivia Miller. Chalked that up as just getting sawed off on the inner half.
Olivia Miller entered the game in the 4th inning. Came in, and the first batter that she had to face was Isa Torres. The nation's leader in average. It's fine. It's hit 2 home runs tonight.
It's where we can get better, though.
Yep.
But I'm with you.
Bottom of the order with Haley Griggs. Has reached 2 times fielder's choice and a walk. And Griggs, one of those freshmen. It's been interesting to see how Lonnie Alameda has handled adding the 9 freshmen. Didn't have a transfer. They took a trip to London. Griggs got it to the wall. Griggs is still going. Sliding into second for Haley Griggs.
That's another Florida State.
Man, this crowd is electric, Courtney. You hear them. She's just able to kind of open up a little bit to be able to get to the inside part of this pitch here. This is a good piece of hitting. Takes it right back where it's pitched and gets to pass the bat to the home run queen of today, Isa Torres.
Thomas there to retire Torres for the first time tonight in her 4th plate appearance. By the way, that's now 94 doubles this season for Florida State. They're 3rd in the nation. The Florida Gators lead the nation in doubles. Beecham just had a web gem. Now can she add a little more insurance to this Florida State lead with her bat? Put on in the 4th via the hit by a pitch. Somebody, too, that's really leaned into building a relationship and that family atmosphere to this Florida State team. She relies on them heavily. Ronnie Alameda has talked about her seeing them as her sister. She's an only child, so that was new for her. This year's NFL Draft is in Pittsburgh. The 3-day event begins tomorrow. The first round at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. We'll have every pick once again on ESPN, along with our usual expert analysis. It's also available on the NFL Network. And as always, ABC's coverage focuses on the prospect's journey to the draft. I visit out to the circle to Olivia Miller from Stephanie Van Brake with Pro Throw. It's a double and a walk that have put 2 on for the Seminoles here in this inning.
And just understanding, too, the importance, I think, sometimes reiterating, like, all right, there's 2 out. Like, I'm going to shoot you straight. We got to get out of this. We got to keep the game where it's at. And sometimes I love when someone's just direct with me and holds me accountable in those moments. I'm not saying that everyone's like that, but in this type of situation, when you got a 2-run ball game, these runs score, it kind of feels like it's over. But if the Gators can give themselves, keep it at where it's at, it gives them a little bit more of a fighting chance, I would say, in the top of the 7th. And if they're able to tattoo a couple more on the board.
Yeah, remember, this Florida Gator offense is dangerous. They average over 8 runs per game. They can score in a hurry. It would be big if Florida State could get some more insurance up on the board. And an opportunity to do that with Ashton Danley. That one hops away from Erickson. Both runners advance to scoring position. To advance on the wild pitch. And now 2 balls, no strikes to Danley.
This one seems like not even close.
There's the first strike to Danley. Hopper to Grover. And Florida gets out of it. So still a 2-run lead, and we go to the 7th. Gators got to grab those bats, and they got to swing. offense has been on point tonight. 2 double plays.
I think that just takes the air right out of the sails, too. Up the middle, they've been so good. Issa Torres and Marin Heller over there at second base. And then it's just been Jason E. Beecham. She has been money at the hot corner. And then another little Marin Heller, get up and get it. But defense just is able to kind of save you from some jams. I can't express enough. And it's been Ava Brown in both of those double plays. She's just not able to run up the line nearly as hard as she normally can with, you know, the knee stuff, but absolutely incredible. 963 last year, tied for 131st. So looking at the adjustments.
It'll be the top of the order for Florida as they try to rally. Taylor Shoemaker, Jocelyn Erickson, and Kendall Grover. Shoemaker started this game with a solo home run, and that's the only run that Florida has scored tonight. Danley going change, won't get the call.
And I like the fight from the crowd. Hasn't been called today.
These rivals will get another look at each other. It'll be on Tuesday in Gainesville. They will play again. Danley sits down Shoemaker.
I mean, I don't know how you don't have extra juices flowing when everyone is yelling K-time, and it just, I mean, this is a tough pitch, right? At 2 strikes, sometimes you want to make sure you foul it off. I don't think that's been called all night. Do I want it for pitchers? Yes.
Now Jocelyn Erickson. Showing bunt on the first pitch.
Well, and just taking note, right? Griggs was all the way back behind first base. And her last bunt that she had, she was able to pull up the first baseline. So you see her yet again, the infield is way back because you're respecting the power of Jocelyn Erickson. If you want to bunt on me, bunt on me.
She's already had 2 hits tonight, that bunt and a single to center.
And for the longest time, before I'd ever actually came to Florida State to call a game, and I'd watch it, I could never hear on the TV what the fans were saying, the K-time. But for those wondering, fire me up.
It's a staple now.
It's K-time.
Torres got there. 2 down. Kendall Grover is down to her bat, and she's one of the most improved hitters in the last few weeks for Florida, hitting .400 in her last 10 games. She's got a hit and a hit by a pitch tonight.
Tough pitch. You're not sitting that, right? As a hitter, you're not stepping in the box thinking, oh, she's going to come at me with 51.
Ashton Danley entered this game in the 4th inning to take over for Jazzy Francic. She's gotten 2 Ks tonight, one of them coming here in the 7th inning. It's a 2-2 to Kendall Grover.
That's a good at-bat by Kendall Grover. I mean, first pitch of the AB, she gets that changeup. Just patient. Fouls some pitches off, works it back to 3-2. That one was off Kendall Grover's foot in the box.
Full count to Kendall Grover.
And these are what great hitters do. They just make it tough on you as a pitcher. You can get ahead of them, and then they work themselves back into the count. They create just that additional pressure on you by fouling off a ton of pitches, even great pitches. Like, that's a solid ABs. 8th pitch of the at-bat coming here for Kendall Grover.
Marion Heller in Florida State takes down its rival. Highlighted by a couple of solo shots from Isa Torres, who's the nation's leader in average. And Florida State beats Florida for their 2nd ranked win of the season. This is important for postseason implications.
So important. I mean, RPI-wise and all the things, this is huge for them to be able to get just the 2nd ranked win of the season. A hard-fought game. We're going to see these two square off again on Tuesday.
Yeah, they'll play again on Tuesday in Gainesville. But for now, it's Florida State enjoying a win in the Sunshine State Showdown. They take down the Gators 3-1. More softball on deck. Let's get you to Austin. It's Oklahoma State and Texas. Matt Schumacher and Amanda Scarborough. Take it away.